Hey guys, Ross here, welcome to the channel, and this is Astroneer. Astroneer is a pre-alpha game that takes place in the 25th century and calls itself a game of aerospace industry and interplanetary exploration. And this video is going to aim to help answer all questions about starting in this game, as it is a very complex game and covers a lot of different things. So if you have questions about how to start your base, research, mining, how to get a vehicle, and eventually how to get into outer space, this is the video for you. So stay tuned, sit back, and enjoy the video as we get started. As we land on the planet, it looks desolate with just your pod sitting in the background, but the one thing that you have, which will be your best friend, is the terrain tool. Left clicking will take away terrain, holding control will flatten it out, and holding alt will raise it up. This terrain tool will become your best friend as it collects resources and alters the ground around you so you can get to the places that are previously inaccessible. The terrain tool is also used to collect resources, and the game will direct you to the closest resin resource. Resin is the key resource that is needed to expand your base. Every structure that you'll be building in your base will require resin. Using one resin will expand your base, and you will see a node expand from the previous node that you are building from. Using two resin on a node that you build will upgrade that node into a structure platform. The structure platform will allow you to build different buildings on that structure, and you can rotate through these different structures and choose one that you want for that individual upgrade. The next resource you'll come across is called compound, and compound is easily the most important resource that's out there, as it is a key component to build so many different things within the game. As resin is only used for structures and base building, compound is used for upgrades for your suit, upgrades for the base, tethers, and so much more. When you find this resource, definitely mine it all and bring it back to your base, because even though you think there might be a lot, you will burn through it rather quickly. When you first begin and you're wandering out on the planet's surface, you have to keep an eye on your oxygen. Oxygen is a finite resource that is carried within your suit. When you're connected to the base, you have an unlimited supply of oxygen, but out wandering the world, your resources of oxygen will start to deplete. You have two warnings, 25% and 50%. Your final warning is called suffocating, and you really are close to suffocating and dying. If you do die after you deplete of oxygen, your body will stay there and you can go back and collect any resources that were on your body before. Using the key Q, you will access your inventory. Inside your inventory, you will see everything that is attached to your backpack, your oxygen meter, as well as your energy meter. Here we are also accessing the build menu. Currently I am producing solar panels, which I'm building from the resource compound. These solar panels can attach to your suit to provide energy, or can also be attached to the base, again to provide energy resource for your base. Another thing that you can build with the resource compound is probably one of the most important things that you can build, and that is the tether. And just like the name suggests, it tethers you to the main base. And you use these almost like a static rope in rock climbing. It is a guide back to your base as well as a constant tether to that base. So it will guide you through the wilderness as you're trying to find your way back to your base, and also let you have a constant supply of energy as well as oxygen. Placing these tethers out to resource nodes will let you collect the resources a lot safer and faster. While tethered, it's true that you cannot die from oxygen starvation, but you can run out of power. The power that is available is based on the power production available at your base. Currently, as we only have solar panels and it's nighttime, we cannot produce any extra power, and the only power that we're getting is from our onboard batteries for our suit. Tethers become exponentially more important the deeper and deeper you go underground. As you explore these deep caverns, this tether becomes your lifeboat to the top side. Make sure you bring enough with you, as well as compounds to create new ones, because once you're deep inside, you don't want to cut your expedition short because you ran out of oxygen. Back at base, let's talk about the structures that you should upgrade first. The first one you should upgrade is the research structure. This allows you to pick up research materials across the world, bring them back to base, and unlock different tech nodes for your base as well as for your astronauts. The second structure should be the smelter. The smelter allows you to take raw ore and turn it into materials such as titanium, copper, and aluminum, which will allow you to further upgrade your base as well as get off the planet that you're currently on. Eventually, as you explore the planet's surface, you will come across a structure that looks like a crashed spaceship. This spaceship will offer you different materials as well as some research opportunities, so definitely explore around it, set up your tethers, and start digging away. Once the spaceship is fully exhumed, take all the materials that are on board and put them into your backpack. Pretty much all the time you'll find a single seat. Put that single seat off to the side, we'll worry about that a little bit later. The one thing that will pretty much always be there as well is a unknown research item that is kind of half buried. Once you dig it out, pick it up, and we'll bring this back to our newly formed research center. As we approach, we can see our unknown object wants to snap to our research facility. Once it snaps to it, just get close and press the I button, and your facility will start researching it. Once the research is done, you will see kind of a facade of different images pop up, and eventually it will choose what you've unlocked. Here we unlock the fuel condenser. Eventually do go back and get that one seat and bring it back to your base. It can easily connect to any free terminal that has 2 slots open. Till now, the only thing that tried to kill you is your lack of oxygen. But once you go deep inside the caves, there are toxic clouds that come out of plants. To get rid of these toxic clouds, there's 2 things that you need to do. One is remove the seed that is underneath the plant. Using your terrain tool, just grab it and pull it out. Then take away the terrain that's surrounding the plant, and the plant will then just collapse, and you don't have to worry about the green poisonous cloud that tries to run after you. Deep inside these caves is where you'll find rare resources, such as copper and aluminum ore, that you'll need to bring back to your base to the smelter and turn it into the resource itself. In the caves, you will also find a lot of these rare research materials. These research materials you'll have to carry back to your base as they don't fit in your backpack. Once you get back to base, put it into your research center, research it just like you did the previous materials, and you will unlock some new materials or new building constructions that you can use to further your career in the exploration of space. Once you have mined enough ore and smelted it down into resources, you can start thinking about expanding your base even further. Some of the new structures that you should consider building is 1, the vehicle bay, as it allows you to create rovers and as well as spaceships. Next, you should build the fuel condenser. This structure allows you to create fuel out of pure energy, and this fuel is used to fuel your spaceship. Once you have completed your upgrading of your base, go find a resource node for compound and haul as much of it back to base so you can build your first land vehicle. The Rover is the first of 2 different land vehicles you can get, the Rover and the truck. Earlier we found a single seat that was in a crashed spaceship, and now it comes very useful as we sit it atop our new Rover. The Rover is powered by, well, power. It doesn't take any fuel, but it does take pure energy power. This power can be provided by the base, by this recharge node, or you can attach a solar array or wind power to the Rover itself, and it will charge the battery banks that are on either side of the Rover. Once your Rover is fully charged, take it out on the planet's surface to go exploring. Once you've explored and you find all those lovely resources, head back to your base with a plethora of resources on the back and get back to base. But do note that once the batteries run out on the Rover does not move anymore. So the easiest solution is to put a generator on the front. Anywhere you go, find some organic material, input that organic material into the generator, and you have an eco-friendly Rover. Once in a while during the game, you'll start hearing a howling of the wind. This howling is not just ambient noise, but is a warning to you, the player, that impending storm is coming. Now, this quote-unquote sandstorm is ferocious and can lead to your death. You have to seek shelter. You can seek shelter in numerous of different ways. One, you can get into the shelter that is provided to you at your base, or you could use your terrain tool and dig a hole. As long as you're below the planet's surface, you will not get hit by all these big bricks that are coming to hit you. If one does hit you, you will die, and then you will have to go collect all the things that are on your body once the storm passes. Once it does pass, in about a minute, you can get out of your safety hole and get back to work. The wind will still be kind of howling and you will cover your eyes with your hand, but it's safe as long as no bricks are flying past your head. Second to last thing I'm going to go over is building of the shuttle, and I would like to take a moment right now to say that this video doesn't represent everything that's currently in the game, but all the important things I would like to go over. Nonetheless, the shuttle is built in either one of three different parts. The first part always is built is the engine and fuel pod. The second part, being the command module, is built into two different sections as you see here. The third option would be a storage unit, which is unmanned, that you would have to build separately on a different shuttle, which is used to ferry materials across planets. Once the shuttle is fully built, now we can start filling it with fuel. And this is exactly why I built the fuel condenser next to the vehicle bay, as we can move the fuel over to the shuttle rapidly. Now, the fuel that is being produced right now is from pure energy from either sun or solar, so it's technically free fuel. And just bear that in mind, as it does take some time to fill your shuttle. It doesn't take any kind of resources that you really have to go mine, even though you can find fuel out in the world. Once it's fully fueled, just get close to the shuttle, hit tab, and you enter into the shuttle. Above the shuttle, you'll see a little orange icon, and this will launch your shuttle into space, and it is a beautiful sight to watch. Once you have reached a stable orbit around the planet, you will see a bunch of blue circles on the planet's surface. Each blue circle represents a new node that you can land at, build a new base, explore, and mine resources at. Your specific home node is represented by a blue circle with the home sign above it. On top of your shuttle is a launch button. This launch button takes you to the orbit menu. The orbit menu allows you to move to different planets, as well as the moon that surrounds your planet if there is one. If you simply click on the moon and then click on your shuttle will move to the moon and establish a new orbit around that moon. Once you get to the orbit of the moon, just like the planet, there will be blue circles on the surface. Just click on one and shortly you will land there to further your exploration and research. Just note, when you do land on these surfaces, they are a little bit different from the planet that you started at. They're a lot more barren, and so you might want to take some resources with you, such as tethers, oxygen, or any ability to build a base, as the core building blocks are not representative on most moons. When you've grown bored of the new moon, just return to your shuttle, hit the launch button, and you will return to orbit, where you'll just have to transfer orbits back to your home planet, return to your home node, and soon enough you'll be warm and cozy in the pod that you started the game in. I do hope that this video has helped you out in at least some way or some fashion. If it did, please hit that thumbs up. It does help me out and helps my channel grow. Now, if you have discovered some information that I did not get to put out in this video, leave it in the comments below, not only for myself, but for other gamers, so we can all grow as a community. Astroneer is still in a pre-alpha state, and that's quite surprising when you take into account the complexities already involved in the game. As the game grows and matures, the complexities will with it. Inherently though, that means unfortunately this video could become obsolete. I do hope though in the future it still holds some merit in helping new players. As always though, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys next time.